All right, Shane. We live.
All right.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you on my side.
Awesome. So, how's everything with you? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's great. Everything's great. How was your holidays and everything?
Pretty short, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because time flies, and then I have a few family members actually came by to visit, and then I have a few clients that finally, because they have kids, and then they're into Disneyland. So I was like, okay, we can. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of because I don't know. I just not really into it. But if they want to, if they wanted to go, then I have to go too. So it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, Disneyland's
Yeah.
fun, but all the people there aren't fun. It makes it's too crowded. Visit my daughter. My daughter lives out there in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty fun, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which part of Texas?
it's outside of Waco.
Oh, I have no idea which area that is.
Yeah, it's basically out in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's about. Well, we stayed in San Antonio for a few days, and it took us like 3.5 hours to get to where she was at. So north of San Antonio.
Oh, okay. So it's like few hours away from San Antonio.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I usually go to Austin, Texas for that race, that
Oh yeah,
MotoGP race. They have that circuit right there, right? So I usually go there and then I visit like few friends. I have like three clients like live in Texas too. So
yeah.
yeah, it should be good. Yeah. So what's new with you, Animalwise?
Oh, animal wise, I don't know. I've kind of reached my limit. I got like 50 snakes right now, so I'm just kind of sitting on them, growing them up now. So
Right.
yeah,
I know that
uh,
you've been buying like a few new snakes too, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any particular? Huh?
I got a couple het sunsets.
Okay.
So yeah, growing those up, and one of those het sunsets is also an extreme gene.
Okay.
So that's my first extreme gene. I wasn't even really familiar with it. It just kind of got it was just part of the package I bought, and
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I really like it though, that extreme gene.
Right. Did you get it from Brock?
No, I got it from Miguel actually.
Oh, Miguel. Yeah, Miguel get it from Brock Wagner. So okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's so many things that you still can do with that extreme gene. Because not many combos actually been done. But and then if they have the extremist, right?
uh huh.
So it's like the kind of like that high intensity OD kind of in a
Yeah,
way. Yeah. Um, I have just the extreme, but I haven't really done anything just yet because like so many projects. I mean, I cannot even keep up sometimes. So that's why it's always good to like focus at least maximum like 5 to 8 projects the most. Otherwise, you're gonna get beat up and then get confused, and then you end up nowhere.
yeah, yeah. That's some good advice because that's what started happening. I started, I got pieds, I got some puzzles, I got some clowns, and
Right.
then pretty soon it just keeps compounding and compounding. And that's why I said, man, I needed to stop, grow some of these things up, and start working with what I have before I get too much going at once.
Right. If you notice, I mean, I never really consider you as new because I know you have a really good knowledge and then have a basic understanding when it comes to like ball python in generals, right?
Yeah.
But if you actually notice, most breeders that really successful, they only focus on less than 3 projects. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah, I have noticed that.
Right?
The
Yeah, it's
guys that
only
are
like
way up there, they're like specialty in one specific thing. They got
exactly. They can
clones or
answer any question that you can possibly have for that particular project that they're working on. That's what I love about like those successful so-called breeders because they don't really go follow the hype or like whatever other people trying to make or when it comes to like combos, they just focus on their own project. That's what I love about it, because when you focus on one thing, right?
Yeah.
um, it's easier for like us or like other breeders to remember you. So for examples like Audi, the first thing that we can come up is Aussie.
Yeah. Aussie right away.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then let's say like that Desert goes. The one thing that came up from my mind is just always like Jeremy, that Firehouse Reptiles. I mean,
Yeah.
he produced insane DG combo. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I ever able to keep up with him.
Yeah. And those guys are focused on what they're doing. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So what are your top main project that you really want to focus on moving forward?
I want to focus on genetic stripe clowns, double
Mm,
recessive.
okay.
I, I, I've seen a few of those out there. I think there's still a lot of room to work with that. And
Okay.
I like how the genetic stripe and the clown break up that back pattern and do something a little different.
Right. Right. Yeah. That they give you that rather like almost like puzzle, but it's really have that thick patterns. You know what I mean? Like much bigger
Yeah.
pieces of the puzzle, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many things that you can do only from that project alone, right? Because what is that guy in Europe just produced genetic stripe clown combo with I think it's Anchi or like something else. And then you need DG when it comes to that project, because
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I know clown genetic stripe is kind of like new combos. Well, not new, but not many people like working on it. But to be honest with you, when it comes to like genetic stripe, I'm gonna say things that not many people gonna like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But genetic stripe, me personally, have no value. I can be
Yeah.
wrong. This is just based on my experience, because when I cut down most of my collection, because I used to have like Jesus Christ, like so many animals, and then I cut down, and then I end up focus only like a few high end projects, and then I noticed that the genetic stripe, I'm talking about like 3,000 gram genetic stripe female, either these combos or not, they sold just kind of like the same as baby, if not a little bit more. So I'm talking about like babies compared with 3,000 gram female.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense for me. Like, why would I focus on things that look? I know that I'm not doing this for the monies or things like that. But at the end of the day, there's always like you have to make sure like whatever you're putting in, you at least get it back, or like at least break even, because you don't want to keep losing money. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you keep focusing on things that not gonna get you anywhere, there's no point of it. I mean, there's still cool combo that you can make with genetic stripe, but like value wise, at least for now, based on
Yeah.
my what I know, and then and then I talk with a lot of like few people too that used to focus with genetic stripe. They said the same thing too. So that's why um like without that clown genetic stripe combos, like genetic stripe can be just going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a cool project, but add something else that kind of like inject up the value. You know what I mean? At the end of
Yeah.
the day, if it is not going anywhere, if you have at least clown in it or DG in it, at least it still has value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 For sure.
Yeah. So, any other project that you want to focus on besides that?
Well, that's why I started reining myself in. 'Cause I have some pieds going,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got some het puzzles that I'm all grown up, and then I came up on those the sunsets. So I got
Mm-hmm.
all these different recessive projects going. So
Mm-hmm.
or
It's fine.
growing up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the good thing about recessive is it does take a long time to produce it if you have the this art. with you.
Yeah.
But it's a good, like investment when it comes to like, like return on your money for the long run. It takes time. That's why the value stays much longer than, like dominant or like, codoms in general. So
Yeah.
you know, but the problem with recessive is you have to focus on like, like only like few things, because if you keep trying to, catch up with a lot of projects, I mean, trust me, you're not gonna produce anything cool.
Yeah. 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 And some guys like I'll never catch them, so I'm not even trying that. I just got to do my own road, go down my own path. You know.
Yeah, but it's fine. But that's the fun of it, right? Because look at it this way, like that ultramel project. Like last 2 years, it didn't go anywhere. But
Yeah.
like some of people in Europe actually, like focus on it, and then I think he made something that no, I think it was a clown ultramel ng blade. It looks insane. It glows, and then it's like purplish kind of color. It's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then and then from there, people kind of like decide to, okay, so ultramel is actually pretty good. So keep
Yeah.
following all the hypes, right? So it's kind of late, but focus on one thing, because you never know what you're gonna get. So
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
when
I
Mhm.
tend to be drawn towards the darker stuff, and I like the high contrast stuff too. Like I like blackhead a lot. I got a super blackhead from Hardwired Exotics too.
Mm.
That I'm gonna run some stuff through that. He's got some good blackhead lines. So
Yeah, yeah. Did he get it from Ralph Davies, or where did he get it from?
I don't know who he got his stuff from.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I need to invite him to this podcast too. There's like so many people on the list right
Yeah.
now. I have
Yeah.
no time to. Yeah, so since I have kind of like in this vacation mode, so I'm trying to catch up, and then see if I can talk with a lot of people. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what are your plan with your sunset project? What do you have right now?
Well, I have a leopard het sunset female, and then I have that pastel extreme gene het sunset male. So the female obviously is going to take like 3 years to get the size, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
run that extreme gene through some other stuff just for the extreme gene, and then if they're pos hets, I'll raise them up and then prove them out, see if they're hets or not. So that
Right.
was kind of I wasn't ever actually looking to get into sunset, and then it just happened. It was one of those things. I was actually I was getting some hat puzzles, and then I just ended up getting some hat sunsets in there too. So yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah.
sunset's a good set. Not a lot, not too much has been done with it. So
Oh, I mean, there's so many combos. I mean, yeah, I cannot even keep up, because if you look at like my note, like what I want to do the next, like 2020, 2020, 21, 22. I mean, it's
yeah.
endless, because there's so many possibilities, and then um, when it comes to your puzzle project, what is your goal? Like, what do you want to make combo wise?
I want to throw some blackhead through the puzzle, but I like what puzzle does with the Belle Complex with Mojave and Lesser and stuff too. So
Mm,
I need to stack a bunch in there to get there. But one of the puzzles I got, the het puzzles, it's
mm-hmm,
actually a hypo too. So
mm.
I'll be working that angle on that too.
Yeah,
The visual hypo and then a het puzzle, yellow.
yeah. Super Black Hat a puzzle hypo, they'll be really good looking too.
Yeah, yeah. Contrast. That throw in a lot of contrast and stuff in
Yeah,
there.
it takes time, but yeah. Joel from State 48, I think he has that Mojave puzzle, right? If yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That
yeah,
Mojave puzzle's pretty nice.
it looks
You
pretty
got.
cool. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I would stay away from Belle Complex unless you just want to make the just the dominant combos, like the version, instead of like doing the super. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's gonna dilute like all the like all the patterns and things like that. I mean, in my opinion, but I can be
Yeah,
wrong. So yeah, because it's never been done before, so it's really
yeah.
hard
And
to. Mhm.
once you get too much bell going around in there, then you start producing white snakes, and there's no point in having a white puzzle, you know.
It's a cool name, like white puzzles, right? But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it is cool to have like white snakes, but at the end of the day, because like value wise, it's
yeah.
really
It's not
hard,
there.
because you can. I mean, even though you really confidence like what you have in that combos, if you miss one thing, people gonna rail you, like they're gonna cut your hat off or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's really tough. And then you
yeah,
cannot say like possible this, possible that, because you cannot charge that much, because you only gonna consider it as let's say like blue eye Lucy or just the ivory. So it's really tough. So it's like kind
yeah,
of playing gambles in a way. So I mean, having one is great, but you're not gonna keep all the bell combos for yourself. I mean, having like more than five is probably like way more than enough.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Um. So you mentioned that before you actually had a like a reptiles collection or something like that, and then you went away, and then you decided to go back to the hobby again. Well,
Yeah,
what is the story, huh?
so in the early yeah, so in the well, I grew up in Southern California catching reptiles and stuff, and then in the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002,
Mm-hmm.
I had like I don't know, a little over 20 reptiles, but it was like a collection. So I had like one albino Burmese, I had like
Mm.
one red tail, I had like a bearded dragon, a leopard gecko, like one of each. I had an iguana, it was like, and so I had all these reptiles all over the house, and then
Right,
I realized after I got that far into it, I was like, man, I can't do nothing with this because you can't breed all these different species together. And
right,
then
right.
yeah, so then life circumstances happened, and I moved around, and I rehoused all those. And then here recently, I just decided to focus on ball pythons. You just
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Having like so many, like animals is actually pretty cool. But like at the end of the day, having pets is great, right? But what do you want to do with it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just
because
like you're feeding them and cleaning them, and that's about it.
yeah, I mean, like the way I look at it, like having like pets or like animals for like your own like happiness or whatever that you want to call it, it's great. But if you keep like spending the money, and then like spend the time, and then end up not going anywhere, pretty much. I mean, you end up gonna get tired. So that's why sometimes like talking, let's say like iguana, right? I mean, there's so many cool combos too. Like, well, not combos, like morph. They have like this Azantic line, crimson line, albino line, and then I think Tom Crutchfield posted super crimson albino or something. It's really like red, like really bright, like iguana.
Yeah,
And then that's pretty cool. And I'm like, oh, sure, I get it. Like, no, because the problem with me is I cannot start with one.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I said I'm gonna have like, yeah, maybe like two, like one pair, and then I will end up like 20 kgs after like 6 months. It doesn't make
yeah,
sense. I'm like, no, 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 because most of my friends, they know, I have a few like good friends that really focus like Boas project, like Reticular, those are Python's project, Super Dwarf project. And
yeah,
then since they know me, so they kind of like always make fun of me. Like, look, I'm gonna give you the like one of the female for free. I'm talking about like the high end one, because then
yeah,
they know I will get back to them and end up spending a lot more. They know
yeah,
me, so they
yeah.
know me like really well. Yeah, it's a bad move for me. So yeah,
Oh yeah, I think we're all like that a little bit, right?
yeah, because like I mean, just like going to the reptile show, right? I mean, it's great because you're meeting friends, you're meeting these other co-breeders and things like that. But sometimes it kind of like give you more ideas,
Yeah.
because when I look their tables or like what they make, especially like a friend of mine, and then I just came out with this idea. Oh, what about if I mix that with that? And you know
Yeah.
the following Monday I end up calling like few friends. Hey, do you have this? And then I end up spend way more money. So, well, I'm sometimes skipping the reptile, so it's much better for me.
Yeah. 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 For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. When I
Yes.
when I first got back in, I got one snake. I got just a simple genetic stripe, and then in
Mm.
3 months from that time, I had 30 snakes.
Yeah. um okay, so what is your long-term goal when it comes to like your collection, your ball pythons? Like, what do you want to do, let's say the next 3 5 years from now? What is
Three
your
to five
goal?
years. Oh, I want to have a. I want to start producing. I've got pairs going, locking up right now, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
build my collection to start with my holdbacks, and
Mm.
then just start following down what catches my eye when I'm producing. Like I said, I really like the blackhead, what it does, so I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
put that in the puzzle. And then I got a whole clown thing. I got a whole bunch of clown stuff now too.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
I
Yeah.
just want to focus on. I just want to focus on making some quality lines and just seeing where it goes. And it's a hobby, but it's also a business at the same time. Well,
Yeah.
I would definitely want it to be self-supporting. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Um. When it comes to like clown project, I mean, you have nothing to lose, because even though if you just produce like the hats, right, or even like a visual regular clown, you still sell, able to sell them like cupcakes. They go really
Oh yeah.
fast,
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong because I don't know if I mentioned you about this thing when we talked the other day, but like the way I run it, right? Because so what I do is I focus on 30 to 40% based solely for the DM customer, based on what
Hmm.
they want, right? And then the
Okay.
rest is just for my project, my holdbacks, and then again, that's the main goal. But sometimes you miss some of the odds, right? So you have to sell them because you cannot keep them all. I wish I could, but y- right, but it's always good to have that balance, right? I mean, you know, to be honest with you, this terms about hobby, right? It's kind of like like that gray area, because what is hobbies? I mean, if you keep spending money for nothing, it technically not hobbies. It's like going to Vegas and lose a lot of money, like like on that like blackjack tables. So can
Yeah.
you call that, like that gambling issue a hobby? Well, some
Yeah.
people call it that way. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Um, I think what you're doing is great. And then I know you mentioned about you getting like a few your animals from like Miguel. Miguel is a really good guy too. And then as long if you surrounding yourself with like good breeders, good friends, um, the upside is just unlimited. The thing that you can do like unlimited pretty much.
Yeah, I've had pretty much nothing but a good experience with the community, the reptile community in general. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, everyone's been like Miguel, you. I mean, you two are the ones that have been the best, honestly. I mean, you're a top notch individual. I mean, I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but man, you've treated me with nothing but respect, and I mean,
Thank you.
you're top notch. And so is Miguel, and
Yeah. Yeah, because
and,
at the end of the day, if you only focus on yourself, and then if you only wanna get yourself the only one that's successful in this hobby, it's a really like lonely road to go through. You know what I mean? Because like okay, I don't want to mention any names, but just like last Tinley, right? So I have a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. So he couldn't make it to Tinley because he said that like his sales was wasn't really that good that year, and then
Yeah.
he said that I think his his kid was his younger his younger kid was like sick or something like that. So things like that. I mean, even though you're meeting your other friends at the show, right? But if you're missing that like one person, you feel bad about it. You know what I mean? But if you can help, like like so many friends, so many peoples, and then we end up like hanging out at the show, it's pretty cool
Yeah.
because we can make fun, to each other or something like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
or just having fun. That's probably the best part about this hobby, aside of all the nonsense, all the dramas, right? That's what makes like the hobbies like really great. I mean, name one hobby that you can actually do the same thing like this reptile hobby. Nothing. I have so many hobbies. I mean, name like okay. So let's talk about like that breeding dogs, right? Because
Yeah.
that's another community that you can actually do this. They don't have the relationship that we have in so-called this reptile hobby, because it, it's a completely different people. They
Yeah.
act differently, they behave differently, you know. So even though we're trying to get somewhere from this hobby, it's probably one of top three best hobbies out there, as far as I know. I can be wrong, but you know
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, I just barely started the YouTube thing, and
yeah.
I interviewed you. You were my very first little YouTube episode thing, but
Oh yeah, that interview, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah,
How
yeah, and
many subscribers do you have right now?
I'm at like 260 or something like that.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I.
Well, you need to make like more videos. Well, it's easy for me to say that because I'm really slacking too. People have been asking like, Chris, um, you need to showcase your animals more. So I'm like, yeah, I know. The problem is like this, right? First, I don't have the time. And then the second one is I'm really picky because, so let's say if I want to showcase 10 animals, right? Because like one project, it always have like at least 10 to 15 animals, right? And then
Right.
if two of them like in shed, I don't want to I don't want to showcase them when they're in shed. So like I want everything to be perfect. But the problem is it never like have all the animals like in good like I'm looking animals. So you have to like keep weightings, and then if they those two are ready to go, and then the rest gonna be like in shed too, or it's always
Yeah.
something. So I end up never. But I should probably start doing that maybe come January. Yeah, because some people have been asking like nonstop, like you need to showcase your animals. I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you should. And I mean, it's fun. And, I'm with you, though. Like, I'm real busy, outside of the snake world. I got
right,
kids and work. And
yeah,
I mean, it is kind of hard to find the time sometimes, but it's pretty rewarding, because, like, I've done a couple collaborations with Predator BP. He's over in the UK. And
mm,
then, just like I send him my videos and then we do collaborations like that. And he does them with other people around the world. It's a global community. It goes back to the reptile community that you're talking about. It's just different, It's
yeah,
like worldwide, and I felt nothing but love. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's really weird because I get so many. Well, I get to know so many people just because of like two or three videos, and
yeah,
then well, me, I'm really bad with names. So sometimes people just tap me at the shows like, hey. So I was like, okay, do I know you? I remember their logos, but not their names. So I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, cool, yeah. And then people still call me Miguel's friend. For
Me,
those that do not know me like really well, yeah. I know
yeah.
you. You from that Miguel's videos. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. So you have like three kids, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I have 8 children.
Oh, eight kids. Okay, so let me ask you this. because I know a few people, especially parents, right? So let's say if their kids wanna get a pet or something like that, do you have any specific advice for them? Like, what should they do first before they even jumped in and then acquire the animals? What do you think?
I would
What's your
say,
thought?
well, the kid has to be responsible, and like my kids have leopard geckos right now, and they have some hognose
Oh, okay.
too. But yeah, so, and you know they have to show a desire because you know kids they're real. I don't even know how you say it, but you know, one minute they like it, and the next minute they don't. And
All over
this
the
is an
place.
animal yeah, they're all over the place. This is an animal that can live, you know, 10,
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 years. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they got to be serious about it. So like I said, my kids have a few hognose behind me, and then they have leopard geckos in their room
Right.
that take care of, and I just start them off small with something like that and see how they do. But just know in the back of your head that you might have to adopt and take over those animals, you
After
know.
like
So
6 months.
yeah. So
Yeah. I think it's a really good idea. I mean, like, well, first of all, I don't have kids, so it's really hard for me to kind of like tell people like what to do. You know what I mean? But I think it's a good start, to kind of like, teach them the responsibilities, you
yeah,
know, and then the fact that you cannot just give up like in the middle of, like after 3 months, something like that. This is a long term, commitment, which is they can apply when they, like go to school or they get a new job or things like that, right? But
right,
the only things that I always tell them is, like do your homework first, because like acquiring animals is not like buying, like new shoes or like new clothing or like new cars. It's a completely different things,
yeah,
because it's easy to just get them, but to take care of them is another thing, right? So I usually just tell them like, do your homework first off. Things that they need to do is just go to the show. Don't buy
yeah,
anything. Just talk. If you feel comfortable with the people, if you like the animals, and then see like how clean they are, how healthy they are, then get their like business card. You don't have to buy the animals like right on that day, and then go to a different local show. Maybe you have a better deals, somewhere else, or maybe you can get a like better quality animal somewhere else. So usually, just do their homeworks. I mean, don't just rush it and then just get something just for the sake of having it. And then it's good too, because you can always negotiate with your kids, right? Like get a good grade, then I'll get you the animals, while waiting on like doing this due diligence per se.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I like to think of the long term thing too, because like if you buy, say you bought your kid a Salcutta tortoise or something, I mean that thing's gonna live
Oh,
100 something years, you know. You got to think about that stuff too, you know. So
yeah,
that's
yeah. Tortoises, they can live like at least 80 years, right? I don't know
yeah,
anything about tortoises, right? At
you would be
least, yeah.
handing it down. They would be handing it down to their kids, you know.
Your grandchildren and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually good. Yeah, but like I think due diligence is probably the number one, because I know a lot of people just buy it for for the sake of like having it, and then like after like few months, and then they end up died, maybe, more
Yeah,
likely, not maybe. And
yeah,
then you end up, I mean, it depends on how they wanna do it, because if it is just a pet, most of the time people don't really care. Sometimes they just like, I have geckos, or like I have this, just to kind of like saying it or telling other people if they have it. That's a
yeah,
completely different thing,
yeah,
but it's a good kind of like avenues to teach your kids too.
yeah. Definitely teaches them responsibility and routine. You know, thinking about something else other than themselves and video games and stuff. You know.
Yeah. Well, a video game, it's a good one too because you can make a lot of money nowadays with
Yeah,
playing video games.
yeah.
um, are you ha- are you ever thinking about like funding or like going to the show and then like display your animals or things like that?
Yeah, I would like to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think that's a good way to branch out, and it's just good branding for yourself and stuff too, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely heading that direction. That's a goal of mine.
Yeah. Well, start from like your local like show first, so you don't have to like travel or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I did. Um, I've tried once. I didn't like it. I mean, it's great because you talk with a lot of people, right? I mean, I don't know. I have this ADHD timestamp plus OCD or something like that. I
Yeah.
cannot, like sit still for like 8 hours, 9 hours. I always like to move around and I keep always doing things. So I don't know. People been asking like you should like bring your animals because like some people from out of towns they never I mean they see the video or the picture when I send them, but it's completely different thing when you look the animals in person, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know it's a really good idea, but when it comes to like branding, yeah, that's true in a way, but my sales is great without like doing like shows or things like that, but I could probably do more, but you know for me it's just a hobby. I don't want to like getting more work or like have more staff or things like that. I have one and then that's probably like way more than enough, but that's for now. But moving forward, if I want to expand, maybe I want to get like much bigger facilities or things like that. I might gonna go to the show because I have to move a lot of animals, right? More animal, like more project meaning more animals, so you have to move more animals in a way.
Yeah. 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 Right now, like I said, I kind of I'm right around 50 snakes right now, and that's
Mm-hmm.
like plenty for me right now. I'm not trying to get any more.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect balance. Like I can maintain it, work, and do everything else with the family, and then I know as I start having clutches, I'm going to be having holdbacks, so I got to save room for that, and
Right.
just kind of grow into it slower from here on out, you know. And then yeah, but I'd like to work over on into getting into shows. We got some local shows up here in the Bakersfield area. There's a Fresno show. I've been to the
Oh
Fresno
yeah.
show too. And
Is it like small or like really big?
no, it's smaller. It's one
Mm.
of those ones like where they have like a whole reptile room, and then over on another side they'll have like dogs and birds and stuff. You know.
Oh, so it's similar like that Orange County, right? That
Yeah,
yeah, Aussie Fair or something like that. A super show.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
it's, it's, it's one of those like it's exotic pets, but reptiles pretty much take the main part of it. You know.
Mm. Okay. Um, Let me ask you this. How do you breed your ball python?
How do I breed them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I I feed on Fridays, and then I wait till Monday. I spray down the front of the cage, the front of the tub,
Mm-hmm.
and I let the male in, and I kind of like let him make it his choice. I kind of like put his head towards, and then if he goes in, he goes in. And so far, everyone's been locking up, no problems.
Okay. So do you wait until they have like a certain weight or
Oh yeah, yeah.
okay.
Uh, I started locking one up, one of my pie girls, as soon as she hit 1,200 grams, and that kicked in her feeding response. She's feeding like a champ right now. And but yeah, everyone else like 1,400. They were all like 1,400, 1,300, 1,400 when I first started locking them up.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, the reason I asked you about like how do you breed your bro partner because it's easier to kind of like when like new peoples or like people that just started, right? Because sometimes they feel like reluctant, like asking me the question or like asking other breeders to ask the questions, So when I ask, like a let's say like someone new or like like yourself, well, you're not really that new, but at least they feel there's that something that they can relate to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I say things, or it can be like really complicated for them. But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
can explain it like, just like a certain way, just breed it. Because to be honest with you, it's really simple. I mean, just put them together.
Yeah.
Once they
Yeah.
reach like that certain weight, just put them together. You don't have to do anything else. That's it. That's
Yeah.
probably the simple way. But sometimes people like, there's like two version of peoples, right? One that always think there's something else that they need to do because it's just like really too simple for them. And then the other kind of people that for them, even though if it is that simple, that thing is really complicated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I need to make a video just to kind of like, okay, for beginners, this is how you do it. For advanced, this is how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing. I don't do anything special, or like there's no like secret, like methods or things like that. Pretty much the same. I don't drop any temperatures, and then I don't wait until like my females up to like 1500. Sometimes I start pairing them when the females actually hit 1,000 gram.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
That's
not many
you know.
people know this, and then some people kind of like upset about it because they think they know way more than I do, which is
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, because this is the reason that I start pairing them. I don't expect them to lock or to build follicles. I just introduce them. So don't get really confused. So when they hit, okay, the reason that I start doing this, was back in like few years back. What happened was I got this import, right, and then this a female, and then she was only 1,100, and then she had 4 eggs.
All right.
So I was like, wait a minute, if they're have this only like 1,100 from the wild. So I'm talking about import coming in, right? And
Yeah.
then I'm talking about four, like healthy eggs, not slugs or whatever like that. So I was like, wait a minute. So I can technically start breeding them when they just hit 1,000 gram. So from there, I asked like a good friend of mine, and then I'm talking about breeders that been doing it for like like 20+ years, right? And they're
Hmm.
like, yeah, there's actually there's nothing wrong with that, because before we have this kind of mindset that we have to wait until like 2,500. This is before, and then 3,000 gram, because their belief is the bigger the snake, the more eggs you can get, which is true in
Yeah.
theory, but you don't necessarily have to wait until that long. And then the second thing that they kind of like wanna, I don't want to say misinform, but kind of like wanna make sure the other breeders, you know, cannot produce until they produce the certain combo that they want to make. You know what I mean? Because there's a completely different thing when you have your female, starting from 12 gram, then 3,500 gram.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like an
That's
extra couple of years, you know?
that's like at least yeah, an easy 2 years down the road.
Yeah.
If I mean, considering if the females keep eating like like once a week nonstop.
Yeah.
So there's always like like information, but for me, 1,000 gram, I just introduce the the males. I don't expect them to breed or to lock to anything. Just kind of like put them together and then let them having some fun or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then usually the one that's gonna go that particular season, like for sure they're gonna eat like there's no tomorrow. I'm talking about they can get gain some weight easy, like 300 and 400 gram, maybe within less than a month, like really fast.
All
Then
right.
I
Yeah.
can put a mark like, okay, she's gonna go for sure. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so that pied. I started pairing her when she hit 1,200 grams with another. He's a lavender albino het
Hmm.
pied, and he was only 500 grams. They locked up the first time I introduced them. They're both virgins, you know. And
Mm.
then right after they started locking, she started feeding like a mad woman, and now she's big. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking she's gonna go this year. That's what I'm thinking. But
Yeah. When you have that like first time female, make sure when they're late, like make sure you have the date because you want to check, like her out because sometimes they, like newbie, right? They're not really good like coiling the egg sometimes.
Okay.
So just make sure if you put the date like that, that lay like the due date, and then make sure if you check it up because every soft, I would say 30 to 40% like new females sometimes they not really good like like coiling the eggs and then they miss like one or two and then
Okay.
those two eggs the one that they didn't coil a coil
Yeah.
uh not necessarily a bad egg so keep keep them so don't throw them away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good information.
Yeah, it's not really that hard and then like like the males you don't need to like breed them like really soon too because I know like most people they're trying to get their males like really fast, you know feeding them like crazy. You don't have to because one thing that I've noticed so far, um the more time I give to the male, the better breeders that he's gonna get like the next season or like the next following season and then he gonna breed like a good champ the whole season, any season that you want, based on my experience. The one that I try to push that particular male to to go breed like really fast, usually like it's like one day wonder. Sometimes he wants to breed, sometimes he's not, sometimes he wants to breed, sometimes he's not. I mean, I have like a few things that I can do to kind of like mitigate that issues. But for those people that do not know, you know, you wasting a lot of season just because your that particular mare doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's all sound advice. I appreciate all that.
yeah.
So I have a
Female.
question for you.
Okay.
So, what direction are you going with sunset? You going to try to put some pattern into it? Because I know it's a powerful gene. It's powerful.
Yeah. When I first actually start working on DM Sunset, I know their like their weaknesses is they get brown when they hit like 500 gram.
Hmm.
So I already kind of like solve the issues, right? So I just put the anchies and then I put like a few other things. I'm gonna put the Mackenzie to
Okay.
make it like really bright. So we have no issues with the that browning, whatever that people want to call it, right? To be honest with you, these people that like whining about, oh, sunset is brown. It's the same group of people that whining when when Coral Glow was like 25,000 because they think like it's those freckles, oh, it gets ugly, blah blah blah. But now they have everything, so they kind of like quiet. Now they want to attack this sunset project, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't really care. um, so that's the first step. The second step is I want to kind of like playing around with the color first because getting the pattern into the project is easy
All right.
because you already know. Okay, so spot nose sunset. Okay, so spot nose patterns with in sunset that colors. That's it. You're done, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a few like tweaks that you can do with a lot with sunsets because I'm gonna share you one this particular sunset project. Like the
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that anti lace hat sunset. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's I mean I didn't expect it's gonna look like that because lace itself it's cool, but so when I first kind of like pairing that combo together, is, my expectation is just like it's gonna look like lace and then hats. So technically just a regular lace combos, right? But
Right.
it turns a completely different colors, and then it gets better through age. I think they're like 300 plus gram right now, and
Uh-huh.
then it gets more brighter.
All
And
right.
then
All right.
I haven't add anything in it. Like I haven't add like the OD, the yellow belly, and I haven't add the Mackenzie too. So I like playing around with this like that color because you never know what you're gonna get. So once I figure out what I wanna make or what I wanna go with that certain project, and then I add the pattern in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so I figured out the color that I wanna do first because like most people just do like leopard sunset and then extreme sunset, pastel sunset, fires, sunset, pinstripe sunset. I know everything, like any project that they're working on right now. So that's why I don't want to go with that direction. If I need it, I just gonna call them like, hey, I need like whatever that you have, right? But
Right.
so what I'm trying to figure out is like what makes that color more brighter. Because if you've seen sunset when they first hatch, it's really bright, that like that cherry red color. So
Yeah.
my goal is like, how do I keep that colors until they hit like more than 600 gram or even like 1,000 gram? I have a few ways, and then so my goal in the long run is I want to make it sounds really impossible, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's gonna be like clown pie DG sunset.
Man, that's what I'm talking about right
Yeah.
there. Set the bar
So
high.
yeah. So once I has that, I'm probably gonna have like 3 kids, and then yeah. But that's what makes the hobby fun, because a few of my friends actually working on the same project, and then I'm gonna work with them. Like, what do you have? What can we do? And then let's work together. So that's probably like one of the few like best thing about this hobby, because I cannot accomplish that combo by myself. I cannot do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why we should all lift each other up and help each other out and promote each other here.
yeah,
There's endless combinations and directions you can go in. There's no way one person can accomplish everything.
yeah, um, yeah. Because I miss on the Sunset Clown, which is a bum, and then my my
Matt,
Sunset Pied combos. The female doesn't want to go. Well, don't want to go, and then yeah, that sucks. But I'm gonna try
see, I
to
think
hit it next time. Hmm?
I think sunset pied would look good. The red and the white contrasting like that. I think that would turn out good.
Yeah,
In my
but
head, it's good.
yeah, but you still need the NG like in the mix. I mean, I've been telling people like so many times, and then right now people kind of like listen, and then they kind of like put the NG into it, because before they think if they're gonna go to like the darker like morph, like cinnamons or whatever like that, it's gonna contrast and then dilute the brown, like the brown issues. Not necessarily true, because the color foundation of the sunset itself, it's already have that like a blackish whatever like that. I'm talking about quality sunset, not that like low quality ones, right? They already
Yeah,
have that thing, and then eventually like just like anything else, it gets kind of like fade away when it comes to like 500 gram or like 600 gram.
yeah,
Yeah, but hopefully like late 2021, I mean, I want to see super lace, super NG sunset. So hopefully I'm gonna hit that one.
yeah. Good luck to you on that. I'll be waiting to see that. That'd be good.
Yeah, it will never get brown for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Any other project that you want to get into, but you kind of like still like waiting and then see what's going on, or you still like thinking about it or something like that?
Well, I don't know. I like the confusion, the acid. I don't know. There's so many names for all that, but I think I'm
Hmm.
just going to hold off and wait around on that for a while and wait for the dust to settle. And I mean, I don't know how many different names does that project have. I don't know.
Yeah. They're all the same. Well, um, let me say in the polite way, because people are gonna get really upset now. They work similar. That's probably the most
Yeah,
polite way to say it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but confusion, acid, static, they're the same.
yeah. Static. That's the other one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're the
I mean,
same
I like
thing.
that stuff, but yeah, I'll wait. And the cryptic, that stuff's cool too, but I don't know really how that works yet. And
Yeah,
I'll wait for all these big guys like yourself and everything. I'll wait for all of you guys to figure that out, and I'll get in later.
yeah. For yeah, for okay, so for a cryptic, right? Based on my understanding, it's supposed to be a simple recessive because based what I know, because I know Kevin Nerd was working on it, and then I think Freedom Breeder JC took over the project. I can be wrong, and
Yeah,
then that's how the name Cryptic came about. And then somewhere along the line, another version of Cryptic pop up, but they claim it as that codominant or something like that. So there's a super like
yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me. So it's like when you see that hat rat azantic, it's a
yeah,
really well. I don't want to say a bad name, but it doesn't make sense because it's not a hat technically. It's a codominant.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So if you like that project, to be honest with you, you already have more than enough from the way I look at it. But
yeah.
if you
I
wanna,
got plenty.
yeah, if you wanna, like spend more money or something like that to add to your collection, I would probably stick with puzzle for now.
Yeah,
This is why. Number one, it has value. Number two, it has a lot of potential. And then when it comes to potentials, right? This is another thing too. There's like so many morph that still haven't even like hit their peak just yet. So people always come to me like, hey, do you have any like new things that not many people have? Can I buy it because I wanna make something cool? You don't need anything new. Just kind of like look around, do your homework, focus on one thing, and then just start producing something cool. You don't need
yeah,
new things. Okay, so and then the third one is puzzle is easier to sell because
yeah,
the hype is there, the trend is like going up right now, so it's like stock market is like going up right now.
yeah,
And then it's like really funny because that more been around for like forever, but
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
somehow some way it just didn't go anywhere. And then people starting kind of like understand how the gene works, how it can DM potentials, and then people starting to like it now. So
yeah,
I would probably focus on puzzle right now, and then cryptic once people settle in on knowing what's going on, then maybe you can jump in, and then by then the price probably already came down a little bit. But if you really
yeah.
want to go with cryptic, um, get the one from Freedom Breeder.
Yeah, he just did a video on it too, where he
Oh,
said,
he did.
he confirmed the one he has is definitely a recessive.
Yeah, because that's how it works based on what I know. I can't be wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, because I know Kevin been like working on it for a while. I mean, I'm talking about like 8 years ago or something like that. So I didn't really want to jump into that project because it looks like a hidden gene woma kind of thing.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, why
yeah.
would I
It's kind
spend
of
a lot
crazy.
of money? So just stick with the puzzle for now. So
Yeah, I got my
yeah,
puzzles, I got my clowns, I got my pies.
yeah, you should be good. I mean, I'm trying not to spend more money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of like backed off on the buying. Now I'm just
Hmm.
hunkering down and growing everything up and taking care of everything. And the
Yeah.
ones I got, the adults, I'm pairing up. And yeah,
How many females do you have right now?
breeder size or females total?
Breeder size.
Breeder size, I have I think 11 breeder size.
Okay, yeah, that's actually good enough. Because from what you can produce from like all of those females, you can hold them back, and then there's
Yeah,
another group that you can use, the next 2-3 years down the road.
Yeah. I got quite a few like clown and het clown combo female breeder females too. So yeah. Kind of waiting on this. I'm kind of waiting on this little red stripe clown I got to grow up a little bit to put to him. I mean, he's only like 300 grams right now.
Yeah, they actually grow really fast. I mean, if you're not keep counting the days, I mean, they grow like really fast.
Yeah.
Well, Shane, I don't want to take much of your time, so thank you for doing this. Happy New Year's. And then we'll talk again maybe sometimes next year.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Have a good night.
All right, you too, Shane. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.